Hey guys, so I am doing some resume reviews today, and I have a ton of resumes to review. But as I'm reviewing them, I'm seeing these little things that are pet peeves for me as a recruiter and others I know. So I wanted to make a video pretty much to vent, but then also maybe this will help as folks I know are feeling like it's a new year, they need a new job, and they may be actually, updating a resume. So, number one, I actually have not seen this before, but today I did. It's a table of contents in your resume. First of all, this resume is 5 pages long, and they have a table of contents for their resume. The resume should not be that long. It should be 1 page, preferably, 2 pages if it's really necessary. You just have a lot of experience. So, regardless of how many pages it is, there's no reason it should be a table of contents in your resume. Like, the resume is the resume. That's it. There's nothing. Recruiters, we want to take like a minute, not even a minute, a couple seconds to look at your resume, figure out if you're going to be potentially a fit for a position or not. We don't want to read a book. That's just not us. We have a number, typically hundreds of applications to look at, and we just don't have time. We do not have time. This is not like a leisurely activity, like, oh, let's see about this person's whole life story. Keep it straight to the point. Put information in there that you know is important for the job, that you know will brand you well and advertise your skills for that specific job, and make it really easy for the recruiter to see that you have the right skills and will want to move forward with contacting you. Okay, that's number one. No table of contents. It's 2020. This is the first time I've ever seen that before in a resume. Just don't do it. So the next one is actually not titling your resume. So I've seen just today resumes titled cover letter and a resume, or cover letter, and it wasn't even a cover letter, it was their resume. Or samples plus resume, like all these weird things. I've also seen resumes without a name on it. So your resume that I pull up is just going to say resume. Well, what you should be doing as far as titling your resume is just put your name and resume. So for me, I would put my name and then resume after it. You may even put like a date or something. That's totally fine. But here's the thing with that. When you title it resume, or you title it something different than what it is, it's kind of confusing when you're starting to go through the process. So if I'm looking for resumes on my computer and they're saved, and I'm looking for John Smith's resume, well, your title isn't going to show up. So it's going to take me more time to look for your resume to actually send it to the hiring manager. So this is just a little pet peeve. Most people title their resume their name, but don't just title it resume, because some recruiters may not retitle it themselves, or notice, oh, I need to take more time to find this person's resume. It may just get lost. They may just be like, okay, whatever. Especially when it comes to positions where there's just a lot of candidates and it's just being a hassle. So that's the second thing. Title your resume by the name and resume. Like, I should know that it is your resume just by looking at the attachment name. Okay. The last one that's a pet peeve, well, I have plenty of pet peeves when it comes to resumes and just job interviewing in general. But the last one is to actually make sure your resume is saved in the proper format. And this goes to my folks that are maybe not in the professional field. So I have recruited in professional roles like accountant, accountants and project managers and IT positions, yada yada. But I also have recruited for positions that are in the field. So thinking about retail, your manufacturing jobs, jobs that are in factory, and sometimes they just take a picture of their experience or it's in a weird kind of format. PDF, Word, that's it. Like, don't save your resume in a different format, because what happens is, first of all, the applicant tracking system that the company is using may put your resume format into a completely different language, some kind of scripting language that we can't even read. And so therefore you're not going to even be considered because we don't have your information. It wasn't in the right format that most systems are used to. The other thing is, for us, like when we're looking at it, when we're pulling up your file, it just doesn't stand out compared to the other candidates. So you can have great experience, but we may present you to the hiring manager. Well, they're actually looking at people that actually have well done resumes, and then we come to your resume and it's just like a photo or something, or it's just in a weird format that makes it difficult to read. Okay, I'm gonna say one more. I'm gonna say one more pet peeve. So my last pet peeve is for folks that are actually applying to jobs in the United States. Don't put too much information on there that's specific to your demographic. I don't need to see your picture. I don't need to know your age. I do not need to know that you are married, single, mother of five, like none of that. In the United States, we do have a lot of, regulations around hiring practices and making sure that companies are not being discriminatory in their practices. So obviously there's some unconscious bias that plays into when someone is reviewing a person's resume, when someone's interviewing someone. But if you're putting that information out there immediately right in a resume, you can't take that back. Like, I am seeing something I don't need to see, and obviously I'm going to be as objective as I can be, of course, but it's just not a good practice. It's not needed. It's not required. I don't care. Eventually we'll probably find out that information anyway as you're interviewing, as we're getting to know each other, but immediately in the beginning, it's not needed. You're just taking up space and allowing an opportunity for someone else that may not be as objective to discriminate against you in some way. So anyway, those are my couple of pet peeves. Sorry, this is a very impromptu video, but I was just like, oh, I can't take it anymore. So I hope that it's helpful for someone. If you are reworking your resume, remember these couple of tips. Like, just make sure that, one, you're not putting in a table of contents. You're keeping it short and sweet, 1 page or 2 at the most, and keeping it very, concise. Just pointing out the information that you want the recruiter to know of why you make a great fit for the job that you're applying to. 2, what did I say for number 2? Oh, yeah. So for number 2, just don't, I don't know if this is my number 2, but don't save it as just resume. We've got plenty of resumes. We need to know whose resume it is. So save your document as your name and resume. And make sure that if you save it as a resume, it's actually your resume, not like your cover letter or something weird like that. Not that cover letters are weird, but to be honest, recruiters don't typically, that's not the number one thing we're trying to look for. And then the third one, just make sure that you are not putting, saving your resume in a weird, as a weird file. Like, just a Word or a PDF is fine. It makes it easy. The system will take your resume and put it through just as it should be, and we won't have any issues, or shouldn't have any issues. And then the last one is just to make sure that on your resume you are just including the the information that is relevant to the job that you're applying to and your experience, and packaging you and all that you have to offer in the right way. Don't put your demographic information in there. And this is particularly for people that are in the United States. That's where I am, that's where I work. Just don't do it. You are not, it's nothing that is actually going to help you in most cases. You're just opening yourself up to potentially being discriminated against in some way, or you're just taking up space on your resume, and it's just weird. Just don't do it. It's not helping you. All right, well, that's all I got for this video. Again, impromptu, but if it's helpful, let me know. If you've done these, please don't do it. Just don't do it. If you are redoing your resume and you want some tips, let me know. I'm happy to either do another rant video, or actually offer a few tips and pointers for what recruiters are actually looking for when we're actually reviewing your resume in those couple of seconds. So hope this is helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Have Happy New Year and welcome to 2020. Bye.